Hello everybody, Septa here, and in today's video, I'm going to be getting the Platinum Trophy for Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I'm getting this Platinum because you all have gotten us to 500 subscribers, so I would like to thank you all for that, as that is such a big milestone to me. And I did start this Platinum back at 2024, so I do have 21 trophies that I already got. And here I explain some of it.
Welcome to the Red Dead 2 Platinum. I'm sure I already introduced the game a bit. I'd just like to say quickly before we actually get into the Platinum, thank you all for 500 subs. It's meant a lot to me that we've managed to hit our goal in such a fast time. Before we started, I'd like to say that I do actually have some progress on this game. Basically, I played this game like back in 2024, so I have this trophy for online for forming a persistent posse. I've done a collectible strand, caught a big fish, done free roam missions in online, sold stuff in a butcher in online, made camp improvements in online, reached rank 10, picked 25 herbs, took part in a series, completed a free roam mission with 2 other people, completed the intro, so that's all my online stuff. I've recovered the stash from 4 homesteads, completed chapter 2, robbed or looted $250, crafted 30 items, played all mini games, donated $250 to the gang box, upgraded every part of a gun, reached max bonding with the horse, completed chapter 1 and like the first mission of the game. So we still have a lot of stuff to do. Like, we still have to finish the story, and I'll kind of show, like, we have to get 100% completion again. I've already done, I'll just quickly go through this. I've already done a decent amount of stuff because I never planned to actually do this Platinum on camera. And for the story, I'm only 2 missions in to chapter 3, but chapter 2, I was actually super proud of myself. These are all gold medals. I would replay, because this is before I record Platinum videos, so I would just replay every mission till I got a gold medal. So we have a decent amount of the gold medals already out of the way. There is a trophy that we have to do later where we have to discover all the animals, which I'll be using a guide for this portion. But for the rest of the Platinum, I'm actually not going to be using a guide. One other thing, we have to do these 90 challenges eventually, so I won't mention them really till we complete them, but I'll be working to grind them out throughout the Platinum.
Editing Septa back, basically we are now in chapter 3. A kind of story recap is that we got a ferry job heist that went wrong in Blackwater, which caused us to go up into the mountains. After this, we headed down to the town of Valentine, where we got into more trouble with the same group being the Pinkertons, and basically we had to flee even further south to Lemoyne, which is kind of a swampy area. Now, the main thing of this chapter is the 2 rival families being the Greys and the Braithwaites. Arthur, who is our main character right there, and his gang being the Vanderland gang, are kind of like playing both sides of the family to try to find gold, which they theorize is in both families. Various different things for both families, but one of the best missions in my opinion is this one, being the bank heist. It's honestly just so fun. Another thing I'd like to mention is Red Dead does have semi-missable trophies. This first one I go for is for delivering 5 items to different companions. You can get these at the chapter 2, 3, and 4 camps, and here's the trophy popping. And Errand Boy for delivering 5 camp companion item requests. Basically, I have just been getting these randomly by doing activities with people, but this time I got a book for Jack. The book was right here. This is where it was. Basically, the items are all over. It could be a lot of different things, but basically doing activities in camp for characters will sometimes give you requests, and this trophy is actually missable as if you complete, I forgot what chapter it is, but if you complete a certain chapter without doing it, you have to make a new playthrough to get it. Back to the story, both families end up finding out that we're kind of double-crossing them, and the first one to kind of crash out and come at us is the Gray family, where as we're doing a quote-unquote security job, the Grays come in and completely just assassinate Sean, our fellow companion, And these guys, Micah the long-haired dude and Bill, who's in the first game in the plaid in the back, all have to shoot out through this town of Grays. And that's all I'm really going to say at this mission, because it doesn't give any trophies and it's just fighting. Now for the Braithwaite's crash out, they took John and Abigail's son, being Jack from the first game. Also more characters is the guy on the left is Hosea, and the dude with the hat next to Arthur is Dutch, the leader of the gang. But our task is to then go raid the Braithwaite Manor with this super aura-filled moment, and honestly, this mission is once again top 5. There's so many good missions in Chapter 3, but we go to get him back, and it turns out that the old Braithwaite woman gave Jack over to Angelo Bronte, meaning we need to go to Saint Denis, the biggest city in the game, in order to find Jack. Now, we end up killing almost all the Braithwaites and burning down their mansion, so they're not very happy with us because that's not a very good thing that we did. Things get even worse for the Vanderland gang because the Pinkertons soon show up at camp. This happens almost every chapter, and each time it means that we have to find a new location to go and set up camp in so that we can avoid getting arrested by the Pinkertons. They mostly want Dutch, but they do want all of us. We end up going with John and finding the old plantation house of Shady Belle, which is our Chapter 4 camp. This camp is like one of my favorites, and we do have to kill multiple slavers inside, and we drop their bodies. After this, we head over to Saint Denis and move on to Chapter 4. Now, each chapter completion does grant us a trophy, so momentarily the trophy will pop for completing Chapter 3.
And settling feuds for completing Chapter 3. I'm really sad about Sean dying, but hopefully Chapter 4 will be better for the gang.
The first thing I'll mention about Chapter 4 is this guy here, Angelo Bronte, did indeed have Jack, and Dutch meets with him, and basically Arthur and John have to go out and stop grave robbers in order to get him back. And this mission I'm not going to go too much into because besides that, that's about all there is to the mission. Now, once again, like I did with Chapter 3, I'm not going to talk about too many different things because I want to avoid spoiling as much as I can. I will go over the major plot points, but not all of them. Now, this guy here was the dude in charge of a collectible, the collectible being the exotics. These were various bird plumes and orchid flowers. These were such an annoying collectible to get, but I decided to go for it during Chapter 4 to just get it over with. Now, I did not get all those now. I just wanted to tell you guys that to keep it in mind. Now, the next trophy we get is our second semi-missable trophy. This one is to do a companion activity in each camp. This is honestly super easy to do, as you only have to do it in Chapters 2, 3, and 4. But for this one, I decided to do a coach robbery with Lenny, and this is the trophy popping.
See you back at camp.
And friends with benefits for completing a companion activity in each camp. For this last one, me and Lenny did a stagecoach robbery. That was kind of a setup, but Lenny is one of my favorite characters, so it was nice to just spend a bit of time with him and get the trophy.
The next mission that I wanted to cover was the optional honor story mission with Mary Linton, Arthur's love interest. They basically have a kind of like, they love each other, but they never actually get together or stay together. These honestly are such sad missions in my opinion. But one thing I'd like to say quickly is there are optional honor story missions in every chapter, but there's a lot of them in Chapter 6 and Chapter 4. So I want to say, if you're going for the platinum, to make sure to do all of the optional missions and make sure you just get those done. Back to the exotics collectible, this was me just grabbing an orchid. I didn't want to show all of them because it was so boring. And those last couple of missions were all things I did in between grinding for these exotics because they are just so unbearable to get, as there's a couple hundred different flowers you have to get and so many different birds you have to kill. I'm not going to go too into the different locations, as there's plenty of guides that you can look up online. IGN, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, has a very good guides for this. But overall, I just recommend getting this done early in your platinum grind because it's just such an annoying thing. And you do actually make quite a bit of money, so I recommend doing these as soon as you can in Chapter 4. because, as I said, you do get tons of money, and you get a cool hat and a pretty cool gun as well. There's no trophy tied to this collectible, but it's a huge part of 100% completion. Also in Chapter 4, I decided to do a Stranger Mission strand. This is just like side quests in any other game, so I won't get too much into them. Red Dead Redemption 2's are really interesting. This guy is kind of like Nikola Tesla, where he has various different machines for us to try, like a toy boat. We have to also get him electricity, like by putting stuff in the ground, so that he can activate his robot. And the reason I mention this side quest is because we actually get a trophy. This is the only side quest in the game that gives us a trophy. After completing all of his side quests and returning a few days later, we can pop the trophy and find out that his robot actually killed him. And here is that trophy popping. We also get a cool electrical lantern though that I just wanted to mention quickly that I found freaking awesome. And artificial intelligence for discovering the fate of Marko Dragic. I did his stranger missions, and as I'm sure you guys will see, we ended up helping him create a robot, and he's dead. So I'm guessing his robot killed him, but there is that trophy and that stranger mission strand completed. I basically just been doing stranger mission strands, as I already had 7 out of 10, and we need to get another 2 strands completed now in order for 100% completion. With all the money that I got from the exotic collectibles, I decided to go for another trophy to spend $5,000 across all shops. I kind of explain what I did for this trophy in live time, so I'm just going to cut to when I actually say it. And pony up for spending $5,000 across all shops. I named this this horse that I just bought an appropriate name. Please give me trophy. Basically, I just had to spend a lot of money, and I had $5,000. So like, I knew that even if I had to spend all my money, I would be able to get that trophy. So I just wanted to get that trophy in between doing stranger mission strands. Now I have officially completed all the stranger mission strands needed for 100% completion, but the single story the single mission stranger mission strands don't actually count for the Western Stranger trophy. So I actually have to go complete even more stranger missions so that we can get that trophy. After nabbing that trophy, I decided that I wanted to get the other trophy for doing stranger missions because, as I said, I was grinding them out quite a bit, as I honestly quite enjoyed them. For the last stranger mission strand, I decided to do these ones, which were kind of silly. And Western Stranger for completing 10 stranger mission strands. This trophy is kinda not glitchy per se, but it has some conditions. Basically, the stranger missions don't, or like they count for 100% completion because you have to do 10 sets. But the single mission ones, like I did a serial killer one and one where I had to get this doctor's wagon, these ones count towards 100% completion, but they do not count towards the trophy. So I had to do 10 different multiple mission ones. So the final ones I did was Oh Brother, where you basically just help these brothers do this crazy stuff. And after completing that one, I got the trophies. Back to the main story, the gang gets attacked by the rival gang of the O'Driscolls, and one of our gang members, being Kieran, is tortured and then killed. I won't go too much more into this mission because it is just a lot of combat, but after this mission, we will be on to the second to last mission in Chapter 4, being the mission where we kill Angelo Bronte. Basically, he set us up with a trolley robbery, and the cops were there, and Dutch hit his head like really hard, so he's kind of crazy, and now he wants to take out Angelo Bronte, and he's like a huge player in the city, so this will have big effects. Afterwards, though, we go to the last mission of the chapter, being the bank robbery. Now, we are robbing the Saint Denis Bank, and this is a huge bank, and this is the most intricate heist in the game. The plan is that Abigail and Hosea will take this wagon into town and blow it up, as you could see here, where the rest of the boys go in guns blazing to the bank, as they always do. This was one of my favorite missions in the entire game because every character gets their own masks, and you get to do this, in my opinion, decently fun minigame of picking the safes. You also could do this in the previous bank robbery mission, I just didn't mention it. Now, things don't go well because eventually the Pinkertons do show up and they capture Hosea. I don't really remember what happens to Abigail, but they end up capturing Hosea, and since he's mad that we didn't surrender back in Chapter 3, this happens. With this, Hosea, my favorite frickin' character, or at least one of them, passes away, and this hits the gang really hard as he was like one of the leaders. I wish I could say things got better, but as we got to the rooftop, Lenny also kicked the bucket. Once again, one of my favorite frickin' characters. Seriously, my favorite four were like Hosea, Lenny, Arthur, and John, and two of them die in the same mission. This mission was just an emotional roller coaster as it was so fun and then so sad. But Dutch, Charles, Javier, Bill, Arthur, and Dutch, I think I already said half those people, end up getting to safety. Charles ends up dipping during the night, but the rest of the boys end up taking salvage on a ship. Things do seem to get, well, they plan to get better, but near Cuba, the ship ends up crashing, and everyone gets lost on the desert island of Guarma. Now, Arthur gets separated from the rest of the group, but don't you worry because Arthur very soon finds them, and this officially marks the end of Chapter 4 and the start of Chapter 5. So, for completing Chapter 4, as always, we get a trophy, and here's that trophy pop. And washed ashore for completing Chapter 4. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how they're making it out of this one. After what happened in the finale of Chapter 4, I don't know how the story's gonna progress from here. As I said, the boys are soon reunited and are captured by the guards of the island. We are eventually saved by some rebels, and as we free ourselves, things once again get bad as more of the army on the island come to kind of slime us out. And with this, Javier ends up getting shot in the leg and captured. This sets aside our two main objectives for this chapter, being to get off the island and to rescue Javier. We also had to help the kind of slaves on the island, which is what I decided to do first, as the mission takes like 5 minutes. But yes, after doing this mission, I went to go help Javier once again. This mission was more stealthy than the first one, but once again, everything, well, almost every mission in this game ends in shooting. Afterwards, we had to defend the island from the incoming Cuban forces. This part, Arthur gets so much aura because he takes down an entire battleship with a cannon on his own. Afterwards, we have to also rescue our captain, and we get into a huge shootout, oh my god, with the leader of the island, Fusar, and one of his captains. We kill his captain, and then literally like 5 minutes later, we kill Fusar with this giant cannon. But this now means that we have our captain and Javier back, and we are ready to sail home with a new captain. This time, we do not crash and safely make it back. Now, once we make it to the gang's new camp in the swamp, things don't stay good for long, as very soon the Pinkertons show up with a huge shootout. Thankfully, I can say that no one dies during this shootout, but it's honestly one of my favorite missions again. I know I keep saying that a lot of missions are my favorites, but this game seriously has so many good missions. Like, this mission's just killing a bunch of Pinkertons, and from what they did to Lenny and Jose, I just hate them. Now, we went to go spring John from jail with Sadie, but then we got to one of the most critical turning points in the game, where Arthur, who has been coughing the entire game, has a coughing fit in the middle of the street. A man thankfully drags us to the doctor's office, but things get even worse. Arthur's symptoms are coughing up blood and like being very kind of weak and such, which is not good signs for 1899. After doing a diagnosis, the doctor deducts that Arthur has tuberculosis, which at this point is untreatable. Well, mostly untreatable, and since there's no vaccines, if he can't take things easy, he's kind of cooked. Now, this disease usually takes a really long time to kick in, but since he went to Guarma, things kind of really sped up, so now his condition is honestly worsening. But soon after this, we do make it to a new camp with Charles, as the Pinkertons, if you remember, had just raided our brand new camp. This is housed, the place we chose, Beaver Hollow, is housed by a bunch of kind of crazy gang members known as the Murphy Brood. They're kind of like, I don't know, they just scared me, but we do clear out their camp and claim it for our own, and after this, we enter Chapter 6 in the last chapter of the main game. We also get a trophy pop here as always, which will pop here. And no traders for completing Chapter 5. Ooh, and we got the gold medal. The game keeps getting crazier and crazier, and I'm really excited to finish the story off, but now that I'm in Chapter 6, I think I'm going to just be doing stuff for 100% completion, and, like, I think I'm going to do some side stuff and just set up some later trophies and such. Now we started to clean up the last of those honor story missions, the first of these being the debtor missions. Now the two that we have to do in Chapter 6 are very different from the ones in previous chapters, as the debtors actually are like more innocent people. Like, they've always been innocent people, but these ones are more innocent, like this dude who deserted the military because he got a Native American wife. Here I decide to absolve the debt, and we actually get a trophy very soon on my second debtor because I decided to absolve the debt and give them money. These are some really emotional moments that I recommend you do if you play the game yourself. But here we do get the maximum honor trophy and extreme personality for reaching maximum or minimum honor. Basically, I'm just doing the debtor missions, and we hit max honor, which is a pretty big milestone. I've been trying to get it since, well, before I even started recording the platinum, because I saw that trophy to do honor missions, which is actually what I'm going to be completing before we do anything else, as once again, most of the 100% completion collectibles are completed as far as I can right now. So basically, I'm just doing these honor missions, maybe doing a little bit of collectibles that I can do, and then after that, I'm just going to be pretty much playing through Chapter 6. After doing these two debtor missions, Arthur is kind of disgusted, so he kicks out the moneylender in the gang, Strauss. There's not too many missions with him, so I didn't mention him. And basically, this is a huge turning point for Arthur, and also a chance to get a huge honor boost if you're going for that trophy that I just popped. Now, afterwards, we do Spring John. I did not include the mission because it's kind of just shooting, but we did do this. Also, the next mission will give us a trophy as we dress up as cops in Saint Denis and go to watch the hanging of Colm O'Driscoll. He is the leader of the O'Driscoll gang, and him and Dutch have some deep-rooted beef. Once again, I'm not going to go too deep into the game's lore, as I want you guys to experience this game as much as you can for yourself, so I should probably put a spoiler warning at the start of the video, but the plan is that Sadie and Dutch will be in the crowd, with Arthur as a sniper on the roof, and as you can see here, they take Colm's guards hostage, and Arthur kills the sniper up on the roof. And I don't know if I'm allowed to show this on YouTube, so I will not be showing him actually get hung. But here he does actually get killed, and this is a huge lift off of Arthur's shoulders. Now after this, Tilly delivers a letter. Tilly is the young African-American girl in the gang. Once again, not too many missions with her, so I won't mention. It's a letter and a note from Mary, the same Mary I mentioned earlier. This letter is used hugely on TikTok, and originally I was going to show you guys the entire letter, but it's basically just a goodbye letter from Mary stating a lot of stuff. So if you guys want the full letter, I just go on TikTok and look up Mary goodbye Arthur. But yeah, this story between Arthur and Mary is really sad, but a really good story in my opinion. So I'm going to end that here and show you guys the trophy pop. And third time lucky for completing Goodbye Dear Friend. I kept doing the optional honor story missions, and a chapter 6 kind of side story is with the Native Americans in the area, where basically Dutch is using them, but Arthur and Charles try to help them. During this, we meet with the United States Army as well as the Native Americans in order to come to a consensus, and after this mission, we meet a nun that we have been helping at the train station. I wanted to include this because it is like the most, like, I guess, TikTokified scene. Don't get me wrong, it's a really good and powerful scene, but I just feel like I've seen it everywhere. I will be showing it, but basically you do this by doing all of the Brother Dorkins and Sister Calderon missions in Chapter 4, I believe. I think they're in Chapter 4, maybe 1 in Chapter 6, but yeah, basically you do those. And here is that famous cutscene.
Be grateful that for the first time, you see your life clearly.
Sure.
Perhaps you could help somebody. Helping makes you really happy.
But I still don't believe in nothing.
Often, neither do I. But then I meet someone like you, and everything makes sense.
You're too smart for me, sister. I guess I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan. Take a gamble that love exists and do a loving act.
All aboard?
Now back to the action. We are on the last honor story mission. This mission is to help Sadie kill the last of the O'Driscolls. Basically, the O'Driscolls killed her husband in the first mission of the game, and after killing Colm, or well, watching him hang, she decided that she just wanted to get revenge on the last of the group. This mission won't go too much in once again because it's, I guess again, mostly just shooting O'Driscolls in the face. But after this trophy, we do get the lending a hand trophy. Just a tip is whenever the game asks you whether to help someone or not, if you always say yes, you will get this trophy. And here's the trophy pop. And lending a hand for completing all optional honor story missions. This trophy we have been playing in the long term. This trophy has been in progress since Chapter 2. Just to go a little bit into it, basically, whenever there's a option to, like, help someone or not help someone, and you choose to help them, as well as doing, like, I'm sure I'll mention all the missions, but, like, the Penelope Braithwaite mission and all the Mary missions, as well as this last mission, which is helping Sadie. Basically, after you do all these, you get the trophy, and it boosts your honor up, a lot. Like, if you guys are in low honor, trying to get high honor before the end of the game or anything like that, definitely go for this trophy, even if you're not going for the platinum, just to boost up your honor. But now, I'm going to do some stuff for later trophy prep and some side stories that I want to do just for fun. Okay, I didn't think I'd get the cops on me. But I'm basically just going to do that stuff because we are near to the end of the game. Like, I was just trying to get this trophy done, and I ended up completing over half of the missions in the chapter just trying to get there. So yeah, I will catch you guys soon. Now after this, guys, we are on the last 2 missions of the main game. Just a spoiler warning, this is huge spoilers, and these missions have so much for me to talk about, so it will span the next 8 minutes. So if you do not want spoilers of the last mission, go to like 36:30, I believe, is when this saga stops. But the second to last mission goes straight into the last mission. So without further ado, I'll get into talking it out. Basically, the first mission is called Our Best Selves, and the entire, like, men and Sadie of the gang, as well as Micah's 2 friends, Joe and Cleet, all head to do the train robbery. Basically, John and Arthur blew up the bridge that this train will be going over, so their plan is to rob it, take all the army payroll off of it before it flies off of the bridge, and kind of takes care of the evidence itself. Now, eventually, a fire breaks out, and they have to kind of let this go. And unfortunately, more army comes and actually shoot off and kill John. Basically, Dutch, well, he says that John ends up dying. So, after this, John actually ends up dying. But we keep fighting through the train, fighting all the patrols that are near the train. Basically, just a lot of army in Chapter 6. Now, eventually, we do get into the kind of money car and get just sacks of money. because the army has like tons of money to come repair the bridge and such, and we just narrowly jump off. And I want to show this cutscene not because it's important, but because I think it's such a cool cinematic of the train just flying into the freaking valley, so that you could see all the work that you've done throughout chapter 6 all come to fruition. Afterwards, the gang head back to camp, where Tilly and Jack meet with them and say that the Pinkertons have came and they have captured Abigail. Basically, this is a very kind of grave thing because they're going to send her on a boat and try her for murder, as you just saw in the subtitles. Now, Micah, the little frickin' rat, has been kind of being in Dutch's ear. I haven't gone too much into it because the lore with him is super deep, but basically he's been in Dutch's ear for the entire game, and he convinces Dutch to kind of just leave her behind. But but Arthur and Sadie cannot handle this, so Arthur and Sadie head to Van Horn, where they then, go to save Abigail. Now, this mission has a lot of sniping, which I really enjoy, as since Arthur's condition is getting even worse than when I last mentioned it, he is sniping while Sadie runs through the town of Van Horn. Originally, this town is like a criminally ran town, but eventually the Pinkertons do take over. Now, as she makes it to the building that Abigail is in, she ends up getting captured by the Pinkertons inside. Don't ask me, the game doesn't let you shoot to free her, and don't ask me why she didn't break out, but we go in, kill the Pinkertons that captured Sadie, and as we are trying to untie Abigail, Agent Milton, being the main Pinkerton boss, ends up getting a gun to our head. Now, Arthur's way weaker in Chapter 6 and just throughout the game, so him in Chapter 2 would have just straight away moved the gun away from his head, but right as it seems that things are about to end with Arthur, Abigail ends up saving us and taking out Agent Milton himself, and this is like huge because she has not really killed anyone. Now, after getting them to safety, Arthur breaks the news to Abigail that Dutch has allegedly passed away, which obviously breaks her. But after this, Sadie takes Abigail over to Copperhead Landing, where Tilly and Jack are waiting. Now, we still have about 4 more minutes of this final mission in the video, and these are the most emotional moments in the whole story. This next part is called Arthur's Last Ride. Basically, he puts on his hat, some sad music plays, and he rides to camp. He goes to confront Dutch and Micah and everyone else that is kind of on Dutch's side. Now, basically, just a little bit of lore, Dutch kind of like started the gang and raised Arthur as a kid, so for him to see his father figure act like this, it just breaks him, which is why he heads over here solo. Now, eventually, it goes to a gunfight, or well, a standoff at least. And the only one there to support Arthur is an old lady named Miss Grimshaw. Once again, a kind of more side character, so I haven't mentioned her until now. But this standoff has lots of tension because John ends up coming back, and it turns out that he didn't die. Dutch just left John there to die and then claimed that he passed away so that no one would worry about him. And after this, Micah ends up shooting Miss Grimshaw in the commotion, and she was mostly innocent and was like a caretaker for the gang, so this comes to a shock to me. And now everyone besides Arthur and John are on Dutch's side, and as you can see, even though he's aiming guns at Micah, he's really not going to attack them. And they even, as we run from the camp because Pinkertons show up, they actually shoot at us. Like here, the people, like you'll see bullets fly past, they're not the Pinkertons. It's literally Dutch and Micah and them all shooting at us as we're trying to flee. And eventually, the Pinkertons also show up and do actually kill my horse. Now, I've had SEPTA since like chapter 3, which is what makes this so sad, and there's even a sad cutscene of Arthur saying goodbye to his horse. I'm not gonna lie, I've done a couple playthroughs of this game, but holy crap did this choke me up when I was a bit younger. I mean, it's just such a sad moment of your horse that you've had for most people the entire game, and watching it slowly pass away. Fueled with rage, I brought Arthur and John further up the mountain, facing off against various Pinkertons. Now, just saying, guys, this is where the game will actually end, on this very same mountain. Now, soon, Arthur kind of has to give in to tuberculosis because pushing up the mountain and fighting through all these Pinkertons is making things even worse. So he gives John his satchel and his hat and has one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the game of Arthur basically just handing everything off and sacrificing himself to protect John so John could be with his family. Eventually, Micah comes to ruin the little good that Arthur can do as he's leaving, and we go into a fist fight. This is the most enraged I've ever been playing a video game before in my life, because beating up Micah is so satisfying. Now, eventually, Arthur crawls to Micah's gun in attempts to end things for good, but just then, Dutch comes and steps on Arthur's hand, preventing him from killing the little rat Micah. Now, this scene is also, once again, so emotional. It pissed me off so much playing through, but Dutch ends up leaving because he's just, I mean, he's looking at basically his son dying on the ground. And Micah ends up trying to get Dutch to come, and this is where the high versus low honor ending comes into effect, and Micah wanders off defeatedly, and this is the cutscene where the game ends, so I will let you all enjoy. After this very sad moment, we get the trophy pop for completing the main story. And redemption for completing Red Dead Redemption. Such a sad game to be ruined in the last moments by this. So, what's happening now? The wheel? Oh, there's a deer. Do we get to play as John?
That was close.
Oh, we get to play as John.
Too
Let's
close.
go. Now, like I said, the sadness of Arthur's passing is almost immediately ruined by the start of the epilogue. Basically, in the epilogue, you play as John, and for the first of the 2 epilogue chapters, you kind of just do farm work. Like here, we're heading into Strawberry, and we eventually find work at Pronghorn Ranch. You quite literally just do ranch stuff, like milking cows and building fences and stuff. Like it's really boring footage, which is why it's in here for about maybe a minute or 2. Now eventually John ends up having to protect the ranch from local bandits, where he kind of shows that he is not the humble rancher that he claims to be. And this kind of gets Abigail angry, as she's wanted nothing more than for John to settle down. And honestly, though, these combat missions where he kind of just impresses everyone are really fun. But afterwards, Abigail ends up leaving John, a direct parallel from what happens to Michael in GTA 5, which I found honestly to be a really cool reference. But things end up getting better because Abigail wants a ranch known as Beecher's Hope, so John heads over to Blackwater and actually gets a loan to purchase the property of Beecher's Hope. We are now effectively in the epilogue chapter 2, where John meets a bunch of old friends like Uncle. He's kind of the older man in the gang. I didn't mention him because he's kind of just the funny comedic sidekick in the gang. This is where the most iconic moment in the game comes, where Uncle says that he has lumbago, which I'm pretty sure is going to make it into the title. But afterwards, they go find Sadie. Sadie gives John different bounty hunting jobs, which since it's legal work, it doesn't piss off Abigail. And it's how John ends up actually paying for his ranch. They also meet up with Charles, who's bare knuckle boxing in Saint Denis. We do have a bit of a shootout with Bronte's successor, Guido Martelli, I believe his name is, and the Italian mobsters that are still in Saint Denis. Overall, this mission I found really fun, and Uncle Charles and John's dynamic in the epilogue is so fun. Here, however, a huge collectible comes to fruition. Basically, every mission like GTA 5 has gold medal requirements, and for doing 70 of these gold medals, you do get a trophy. I explained it really good in live time, but I ended up getting this without having to replay too many missions, and I actually did this before even completing the entire main story, which includes the epilogue. And, oh my god, gold rush for earning 70 gold medals in story missions. Oh my god. Oh, let's go. I did not think I'd get this trophy this soon. Basically, guys, I have been following religiously the gold medal guides while playing the story. So, like, we have, like, I think 8 or 9 more missions left in the game, but we have all 70 gold medals that we need. So my major tips is just to use a guide for this. I'm sure I'll talk about it more like in post, but basically I just used a guide to follow each mission, and when there was easy missions, like I'll pull it up. This mission that I just got it on was, yeah, you literally have to complete the mission in 18 seconds. Just a tip for that specific mission, guys. You have to watch the cutscenes so you get the gold medal. I actually got 70 gold medals on the prior mission, but you need to get 71 for the trophy to actually pop. So that is one of our biggest grinds left in the story mode side of the platinum completed. The next trophy we get is from a later mission where we get to build John's iconic house. Now this mission is so fun, and the song that plays here, I don't know if it's copyright, but it is just such a tune as we get to hammer in boards to build the house, as long as, like, well, I guess just build the walls and build the roof. This mission's so fun, and I've heard this song so much on TikTok and YouTube back when this game came out. As I said, we even, like, lift walls. We do everything, okay? We really build this house. And here we get the trophy for the mission. Cowboy Builder for completing a New Jerusalem. Honestly, that is my favorite mission in the game. Like, the mission was so happy. I don't know. It was just really good. Now, with all this work John's been putting in, Abigail and Jack come back, and after doing a couple missions with them, John officially proposes to Abigail, which I decided to include this because it seriously means a lot to me, because it's just such a heartwarming moment, since they're kind of like, they argue a lot, so to see him be happy is such a good moment. Now literally the next mission is the final mission, being American Venom. Basically Sadie comes to John and tells him that they know where Micah is. So first they track down Cleet, which is Micah's associate from back in 1899, and we question him, find out Micah's whereabouts, and I hate Micah and all of his friends, so I immediately hung Cleet, because I think that Micah and all of his friends should die. Now this mission by far has the most aura, as we get to charge headfirst up Mount Hagen. Now Charles comes with too, and he does take a bullet to the sniper at the start of the mountain, which is why John and Sadie have to go up. Sadie also gets shot, meaning that John has to go find Micah and kill him completely solo. This is where the aura comes in, because we find Joe soon after, and I admit I lost aura. This should have been so much better. Okay, that bullet should have landed perfectly in his head. But we do slime Joe out, as well as many of Micah's associates, because now he has like his whole gang. And eventually we do find him, and I'm kind of gonna, I think I explained it pretty good in the pre. Scratch that, guys. I did not explain it good. So basically Micah comes out, and John decides, well, he's obviously going to shoot him because Micah killed Arthur and ruined the gang, everything good they had going for him. He basically poisoned the gang as soon as he got here. Now, eventually, Sadie comes up to help John, and Sadie gets Micah at gunpoint for a while, but eventually Micah gets John, and, like, takes her hostage, and Dutch comes out, because it turns out they've been running together again. They attempt to recruit John, and he doesn't do it, but eventually Dutch does the unthinkable.
What the hell? Dutch is just
You shot me. You shot me pretty good.
Oh my god, yes, yes! Fucking die, you piece of shit! How is he not dead? Is he immortal? Oh my god. You look so stupid. You piece of shit. Oh! I've been waiting to see him die.
Thank you.
Now, after this thrilling moment, John finds so much money, which gives us like 14 grand for the rest of the platinum. And after this, John comes back, and him and Abigail end up having their wedding. in kind of the credit sequence, you can see various different things like them having the wedding. And honestly, this game is just so good. So here we get a trophy soon, because that is the final mission of the story mode.
Has been so fire, I'm not gonna lie. There should be a trophy that pops soon, but before I get to there, I just want to say that we're not going to be doing online. Besides, actually, I'm going to be doing one more trophy. Oh, there we go. Endless Summer for completing the epilogue. But basically, now that story is like done, we still do have cleanup in story mode. But I'm going to be getting another trophy for doing the hunting requests, because like I did the hunting requests, but I have like an extra task to do, and then we get the trophy for it. So I'm going to be getting that trophy, and then we're going to be hopping into online. Now, as I mentioned, completing those hunting requests, basically you have to grab this like squirrel thing that you get from doing all the hunting requests, and you have to hide it, or like you put it places and it moves, but between each time you have to wait a couple in-game days. So during this, I was grinding out the bountiful miscellaneous trophy for getting a bounty of $250 in all states and surviving 3 days. I kind of just caused havoc in between getting each of these locations, and then slept to get the trophy. For surviving 3 days holding a bounty of $250 in all states. Basically, guys, I'm grabbing the It's Art trophy because I'm sure I think I even explained it when we popped our last trophy, but basically I've had to collect hunting requests throughout the game, and essentially Abigail does not like the gift that we got from it, so she keeps moving the squirrel around the entire of Beecher's Hope, the entirety of Beecher's Hope. Now, there's 6 different locations that we gotta find. I'm currently heading to the 6th location, and basically, you have to wait 24 hours. So I decided to get this trophy out of the way, because it's like the only thing I have to do that's not directly going for animals or 100% completion. So I decided to just rack up a bounty in all states and then wait it out to get that trophy before we pop this trophy and then move to online. Now, after getting all the hunting requests, which was basically just killing a bunch of different animals and giving them to this lady in perfect condition, turns out she's a taxidermist, and she taxidermizes a bunch of animals, as the name implies. She's the lady that gives us the squirrel. It looks just like John, and John never met with her, so I have no freaking clue how she made a perfect replica of John. But basically, here is the trophy popping. This trophy has been such a... No, please don't knock it off the mountain. This trophy has been such a pain. I've been working on it since chapter 2. And it's art for finding a permanent home for the school statue and 67%. Oh my god, that was corny. Basically, this squirrel statue, Abigail really did not want us to have the statue. She took it all the way up here to Mount Shan, north of Strawberry. Yeah, that trophy has been such a pain in my side, but honestly, we're very close to 100% completion and the platinum, or at least everything in story. We just have these 3 collectibles, and these 2 are like half done. But besides that, like, we just got to get weapons and the challenges. But yeah, so I did miscount, and we have 1 more miscellaneous trophy, but we are going to take an intermission and move to online. Alright, boys, online time, okay? I'm not gonna have too much to say here because I got half of the gosh darn trophies before even recording, but basically I'm already level 14 and I have a decent amount of gold. I did various things that I'm just not going to talk about. I'm mostly going to talk about my XP grinding method, as well as my kind of just the trophies that I popped. Now, I started off killing and skinning a bunch of animals for this first trophy for crafting 15 different items. I explain it really well in the moment, so I'm just going to let myself explain it. And the trophy should pop here in a second. Okay, this should be my last item that I need to craft. Yeah, here we go. Master Craftsman for crafting 20 items. Basically, this trophy is very easy. You just have to kill animals and skin them to get 20 pieces of meat, and then you can cook them at your camp, and then you get the trophy. Basically, just to start this out, I'm going to be going for miscellaneous trophies in attempt to get some XP, because I got like 500 XP from quick getting that trophy. So yeah, guys, I'll see you soon.
The next trophy I picked up was for doing all the gold belt buckles, or well, at least 5 of them. Basically, I was doing Call to Arms, a survival-like game mode, and like the Platinum Awards in GTA 5, I did various objectives before I started recording to get some, and I got my last one right here. These aren't very hard, so I just recommend looking at the menu and then doing all of them, and here is that trophy pop. And buckle up for achieving 5 gold belt awards. Basically, these are like the platinum awards in GTA. Whilst going for the ultimate goal of level 50, I did the free roam events every time they popped up because they only pop up about once an hour. So if you're going for this platinum and you're doing online, every time you get one of those purple invites, please, for the love of God, do them straight away. Because like Braden's going for this platinum and he did not do this and it's taking him way longer. But I went for all of them and here's the trophy for doing 5. Okay, so this should be, yes, eventful for completing 5 free roam events. Basically you'll get these like purple mission invites every, I think it's like once in an hour, and basically you just join them, do 5 events, and you get that. Not a very per se good money making method or anything like that, more so just something kind of fun that you can do when they pop up. So there is that trophy finally done. Before our next trophy, I kind of just wanted to explain how I've gotten so much money in gold. Gold in Red Dead Online is used for purchasing roles like Bounty Hunter or Collector. Those are the 2 I end up getting. But I did some of the Red Dead Online story as well as various missions. The first thing I did, though, was get Bounty Hunter role because this is a great way to get gold. And I will talk more about my leveling up later, but this is basically just how I got my... I got money to start out. Now, next, I boosted a trophy with Braden where you have to steal a posse's, target. So, basically, he started up a postal mission where he had to go deliver some mail.
Now I can start.
And then here I get the trophy, so I'll just let myself do it kind of in the time here so you can just see what I'm doing.
Same for me, by the way. I hope you know. You will be doing this exact same thing for me. Hope I get this. If we don't, then it's going to be annoying because this took us like 5 whole minutes.
Thanks.
And there we go. Trophy. Yes! All's fair for successfully countering a rival posse's free roam mission. I'm sure I'll mention how we actually boosted this, so I won't talk about that now. But basically, you just have to find a rival posse that's doing a mission of some sort. If you go to any of the train station guys and start up the mission delivery with one of your buds, they can then start that and you can rob it off of them.
Now, after days of grinding, I finally got back up to 15 gold bars and bought the collector role from Madame Nazar. If you're going for this platinum, skip the bounty hunting and just straight buy the collector role because I got like 30 levels in a couple days from just grinding out these collectibles. Once again, I still won't go into this too much, but a lot of my trophies that I had remaining in online were level locked, like this one where I had to craft different ammo types, but I had to get a certain level to unlock the ammo type, and I'll let myself explain the trophy.
So now that we have acquired the split point pamphlet at level 28, this has been a major goal of mine. We now have the split point pamphlet, which allows us to just make these rifle rounds into split point, which you literally just do this and make your knife. This is the easiest way to craft 25 pieces of ammunition. And after this trophy, I will talk a little bit, I'll give a little bit of live commentary on some of my XP strats, even though I'm sure I already have gone into decent detail about them, but we should be almost there. I've been kind of really excited for this trophy because we have 10 trophies left as of right now, including the platinum, which is basically just 9 trophies. Is that it? I might just have to... Oh, yes. Non-regulation. Red Dead Online, craft 25 pieces of ammunition. That's funny. I crafted 45 because I wasn't counting. So I'm just gonna go to Madame Nazar quick. Okay, so now we have the real Madame Nazar location, I guess. I refreshed my page.
It's good to see you are not yet too illustrious
so we
for my
are
humble company.
557
Let's
XP
hear
at
the
level
fruits of your
36.
labor.
So yeah, these are all mine. So this is the daily one. How much did I give? We started out with 22 bucks, by the way. How much did we get? 1,000 XP. Okay, that's decent. All right, family earnings.
Some lovely heirlooms.
Hopefully this will give us enough money to
How beautiful.
sorry, it's like
It is as
2 in the
if
morning. It's hard for me to
you
think.
were my
Hopefully that'll give us
love.
enough money to get the 5 horses.
Tentacles. Well, good
Okay,
business
well
indeed.
we're at $1,000. Hopefully that's 2 levels. I'm not sure though. Hold up, I do want to sell. There's like one thing I have like 1,000,000 of. Yeah, I was gonna sell all these just to see how much I would get.
Commonplace.
No, none XP. Sorry, what am I saying? No XP. That was a waste. Okay. And level 37. So we got a whole level and then like 2,600 XP. So in one day, this is the best day I've ever done. We have gotten 8, almost 9 levels in one day. So once again, boys, we just need to get the MVP trophy. So we have to win 3 races. Then we have to own 2 more horses because we own 3 right now. And then after that, we just need to get to level 50. And right now, I have basically the guide suggests going for like 2 sets of tarot cards at a time, but I just go for all the collectibles. Right now, I'm at 115 out of 231 collectibles, and I have 17 hours till they reset again. So, like, deadass, I think we're going to be able to get the levels, maybe even by the end of this weekend, because it's Friday right now. So I think we might be able to get this by the end of this weekend, like the levels. So this is honestly huge for us. But I'll see you boys in a second. I'm going to bed. Okay, guys. Well, I have a potential trophy. I'm not sure. So I got, this is like a crazy achievement for me. I got every single what the heck? I think I almost accidentally started streaming. We have so much money, so I'm gonna see if we can get all the horses, but I just want to do a quick level update, and yes, we are level 43, almost level 44, so like we are really in the end game here. Let's see, hopefully this doesn't glitch, because I know there's a stable glitch. I do need to get MVP, so I'll probably do that, because I literally can't like do anything. Okay, we're gonna buy these, which actually never mind, we may not get what we need, because right there. Okay, but that's all the stables we need. So if we can just buy 2 horses, like what's like just a really cheap horse? I'll buy a Shire, light gray. Let's name him Sub 2. Yes. We're actually going to do it, boys. Let's just do a Tennessee Walker. Let's do this one. And I have 3 horses named Septa, by the way. 3 horses named Septa. And horses for courses for owning 5 horses. Yeah, just for some lore on my horses, this one was my default, and then this one's my main. It's a Missouri Foxtrotter, and then sub 2 and Septa. I'm actually very excited, because now all we have to do for online is finish the level grind, but like, there's not even that much of a level grind, because in 2 days, like, well, it's Saturday, and in like 2 days, I went from like level 30, well, yesterday I went from, what was it? It was like 31 to 37. Today I've gone from 37 to 44. Oh, because I got a award. I got an award, so it boosted me to 44. So yeah, boys, we only need 6 more levels, and then besides that, we just got to get 3 race wins, and then that is all of online. Alright, guys,
Editing Septa here, back with another trophy yet again. This one is the real deal. Now, just to mention, those past trophies along with this one were taken like in between the collector role grind, so all that grind is going along with this. Now, basically what I do here is just have to win 3 races. My first race took place 6 hours before my last race, so just boost this with your friends, to be honest. But doing these races was such a moment of triumph, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's so boring. I'm just going to let myself enjoy it. So enjoy my reaction.
It's been 7 minutes. The only real plus side to my 5-hour race grind is the fact that well, this is the same day as Horses for Courses, and technically the same day as non-regulation, just like later. But basically, guys, my whole time's been filled with racing. I've only gotten a level. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a second one. But there we go. This better pop the trophy, I swear to God, if it don't. If it doesn't. Yes, oh my God, the real deal. Oh my God, MVP 3 times. This is the hardest trophy. Oh my God. We're just gonna quickly see what level I am. I'm guessing I'm either 45 or 46, but the collectibles reset in 40 minutes, and I already know from experience that those collectibles are going to be enough to get me to Notorious. So deadass, today we're gonna be able to finish online. Okay, guys, so I am finally, where's the collectible? It's right here, I think. Oh, let's go. This is my last collectible, of online as a whole. Hold on, I just gotta double check the location of Madame Nazar. So I was just gonna talk to you guys quickly because of how, like, crazy this is for me, because I'm happy as heck. It is 1:45 in the morning, which means approximately 7 hours. Holy crap, it does not feel like 7 hours, but 7 hours from the time of the Real Deal trophy, and 24 hours from the time of the non-regulation trophy. So we're gonna have online done, and story is quite a simple wrap-up. I'm gonna start with doing the challenges to the best of my ability. What that means is I'm gonna do the challenges till I'm absolutely sick of them, and then I will kind of rotate between challenges and discovering the animal species I need, either until I finish the challenges or finish all the animal species. Then after that, I'm going to quickly finish up the remaining collectibles, like the legendary fish, and besides the legendary fish, I'll also be grabbing the dinosaur bones. So I'll kind of just skim over these things, as I'm sure, well, I don't even know, but I'm sure this video will be extremely long by the point that we are at right now. But if you guys have made it this far, I just want to thank you. As of recording this video, which currently, at this current point of gameplay, it is April 19th, 2026. I said that I thought GTA would take me till February, and I edited it in March, released it in early April. So, you know, who knows when this video will come out, because I have, like, sneak peek alert, I have, like, 5 platinum videos. Okay, and without further ado, let's finish up online.
Let me see.
And bird eggs.
Will make a lovely omelet.
Let's see, we're being all dramatic. We're going slow.
I trust you got all
Heirlooms.
of these quite legally.
Come on. Yes.
Woo!
Yes! Oh my god. Oh my god, Notorious. Reach rank 50 in Red Dead Online. Oh my god. We actually got it, boys. And I never changed out of my default outfit. This is literally my default outfit that I had when we started. But, boys, make sure to like and subscribe, because we are finally done with online. So I'll see you boys back in story.
Alright everyone, back to story mode. I decided to first do all 90 challenges, and there's 10, or I'm sorry, I believe 9 different categories. The first one I decided to do was bandit challenges. The final bandit 10 wasn't very tricky. Now I'm not going to talk about every challenge because most of them are honestly really boring to talk about. Some highlights though were when I had to kill a bear with only throwing knives. From what I've seen from various Platinum Trophy YouTubers, this is only really possible if you do it with poison throwing knives, so that's my tip. But this one was for, I believe, Weapons Expert 10. And most of the other ones, like shooting, or, sharpshooter, survivalist, all those are just various like hunting and fishing challenges, so I won't mention them too much, but there is Weapons Expert 10. Now the three sets of challenges I will mention is Gambler, Herbalist, and Horseman. Gambler sucks because it's literally just chance. This took me multiple days to actually get because of all the win a certain amount of games, like dominoes games, or as you can see here for Gambler 10, poker games in a row. It just sucked. But this is me finishing up Herbalist, and I will let you guys see my raw reaction to this because honestly it was such a relief, and these took me like 6 hours.
Holy crap. After 3.5 hours. Herbalist 9. Oh my god. 43 herbs is insane. Genuinely, picking 43 flowers is the most difficult thing I've done. Okay, now for Herbalist 10 to cook all this. Okay, the only one I don't have is crustacean meat. A quick tip for that is to head over to Braithwaite Manor, Clemens Point is the best, get a boat and head to the island there. If I did my calculations correct, which I think I did, this should be the last piece of meat, hopefully. I actually really hope so. Is it? I think so. I'm just gonna... Yes! Herbalist 10! Oh my god, that's so nice to have done. It's actually not even funny how annoying this challenge was. In my opinion, that as Herbalist 10 doesn't make any sense, and they probably should have switched 9 and 10. But we are on to our final challenge. Well, our final 2 challenges, which... the set is Horseman, but our first challenge, challenge 9, is to go from Van Horn to Blackwater in 17 minutes without touching water. So, I'll get back to you boys once we arrive at Blackwater.
Now that you've seen those 2 challenges, here's Horseman 9 and 10. I explained them pretty good in the moment, so I'm just going to let my past self explain.
Yes! Horseman 9. Okay, I'm just going to show you guys quickly, like, my route that I took. So I went from Van Horn, took this over, and just went through, took Bard's Crossing, then went over to the dam, crossed the dam, went through here and over here. It took me about 12 minutes. And now our final challenge, Horseman 10, for breaking every wild horse. I'm definitely using a guide for this. I don't know how much of this I'll show, but oh my god, 89 out of 90 challenges is such a freaking rage bait.
Okay guys, so for Horseman 10, I had to break every wild tame of horse in the game. Now I did like say a bunch of stuff like live, but the problem was it was like 2 or 3 in the morning at this point. So I was so tired that like my mic is so quiet, so I have to like almost dub over it. But these took a long time, and I'd recommend just using guides like I did. Like at the start, it was really hard to do the kind of bucking mini game, but eventually you just get used to it, and there's all the challenges completed. Now here we get access to the Legend of the East outfit, as well as a bunch of different cosmetics, and these cosmetics give us max of all of our stats, which is need for 100%. And next, I just had to purchase 2 weapons for that little one that you see in Compendium for 100%, and then I just had to do the last 3 collectibles, along with some miscellaneous trophies, and then we get our Platinum Trophy. The next thing I did was the kind of animal challenges, which was to study every animal in the game and skin every animal in the game. My tip for this would be to use a guide and make a paper guide for yourself of all the animals you already have. That's what I did, and this is me getting the last animal in the game, which was so
Okay, guys,
exciting.
this is a very interesting thing. So here we have, oh my god, zoologist, study every animal in every, oh my god, guys. This is a very rare thing. I actually got this animal first try. Oh my god, I found a guide that said you basically come to Brandywine Drop, come up here, and the moose will spawn right there. And basically, well, the strategy is you just keep walking to where the moose is in view and out of view, and then you study it and shoot it, okay? I'm actually so hyped because zoologist is a huge grind out of the way, and hope, oh, please don't die. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. That actually, I actually would have quit the platinum, I'm not even gonna lie. Cause like, I would have had to retry. What horse is this? While I'm here. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That's not even funny. We're popping a moonshine. That's not even funny. We almost died twice. I'm not even gonna pick up my hat. Okay. This should be the trophy. I really hope it is. If it's not, I'm gonna be disappointed. Please. Please, please, please. Please, I'm actually so hyped. Such a huge grind out of the way if we can get this. Please? Yes! Skin deep. Skin every species of animal in story mode. That's actually hype as frick. Every animal in the game has been discovered, studied, and skinned. My personal guide, my paper guide has proven trustworthy, so I'm actually hyped as heck. Now I'm gonna go for the next trophy, Grin and Bear It, which I'll explain more as I'm actually doing it. Now for the next and last miscellaneous trophy, being Grin and Bear It. This is a lot like the Barely Legal trophy in Red Dead 1, except this time we have to kill and skin 18 bears, and this is honestly pretty easy. You just go to an area near Strawberry and keep farming it out. Grin and Bear It. Survive 18 bear attacks and kill the bear each time in story mode. Oh my god, this took longer. Low-key, I should have checked the compendium before I started because this took me like 45 minutes. Not even that bad for our last miscellaneous trophy, but still so annoying because I thought I had more. But I'm sure I'll mention the method, but just in case I don't, you set a camp here, save, load the save, sleep for 2 days, and then get the bear. So now we are just on to 100% completion, which is nice. And then we're at the platinum. Now it was time for those last 3 collectibles. The first one I went for was the dinosaur bones. Not going to go over this too much because it's literally go somewhere, press triangle, write down a location, and move on to the next one. I also did the legendary fishing, which I did a lot before my platinum, which is why I don't have any footage of me grabbing any of the fish, because I was very sparing with my footage as my computer was getting to be almost like full storage towards the end of the platinum. But after the dinosaur bones mission, we have to go talk to a paleontologist and give her the bones, and then we have to talk to this fish dude after doing the fish challenges where we help him find a fish. He dies, and we get all those collectibles done. Now for the final collectible, we had to do the graves of all 9 of our fallen companions. These happened from the start of the game with one of the characters dying to my favorite 2, Lenny and Hosea, and even our dog Arthur at the end. Now I have a bunch to say because this is the end of the platinum, so I'd like to, from me, editing Septa, thank you guys again for 500 subs, and thank you if you made it this far. Seriously, the support on these recent videos has been insane, so thank you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and from editing Septa, I'll see you in the next one. This is the moment that you all have been waiting for, I've all been waiting for. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to like, subscribe. 1,000 subs, I'm doing something crazy. Now, before we get our last collectible, I just want to say, look at how complete this looks. 100% story, 90 challenges, 99.8% completion. We just need the last grade, which quickly, before it pops,
It's like right here on the map, okay? Now, I'm just going to be quiet until the trophy actually pops. And paying respects for finding the graves of each of our fallen companions. Best in the West for 100% completion. And Legend of the West for the Platinum Trophy. And what a fitting way to end the Platinum. Oh, something's happening. Hold up. This is sick.
Guess we're just about done, my friend.
This is tough. Sun rising and everything. Well, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.